is the chasmosaurians. Chasmosaurians are things like Triceratops. You notice they have short nose horns, long eye horns, and a relatively longer frill. So, the species of horned dinosaurs that we knew before 2000. There's Centrosaurus apertus. You see it's got a long nose horn. Obviously being named Centrosaurus, it's going to be a Centrosaurian. Another Centrosaurian, Styracosaurus. Long nose horn, no eye horns really. Spikes on the back of its frill. One of the coolest dinosaurs ever invented. This guy with a long curving can opener for a nose called Iosaurus. But it was really found in 95, so it's kind of a recent newcomer. Ankylosaurus completely lost his nose horn and now has kind of a radiator on the top of his head. Some spikes coming off the back of his frill. Another Centrosaurian. And we have Pachyrhinosaurus, which continues this globularization of the top of the head. No horns. It's got some little horns on the back of its frill and the middle of its frill, but another good centrosaur. And then within the Chasmosaurians, Chasmosaurus was named in 1914. 1940, Chasmosaurus russellii, a different one, was named. Pentaceratops in 1923. Rhinoceratops in 1914. Ankyceratops in 25. The other way around, of course. Torosaurus back in 1891. And then Triceratops, 1889. This is what we knew about horned dinosaurs. And two of those horned dinosaurs were named in 95. So, what have we learned since 2000? There's been a lot of work, some of which has been done by the University of Utah. So, I'm going to count this one. It was published in 1998, but it really wasn't really understood in 2000 until 2002. But it's a very primitive horned dinosaur. It's actually before the split between Centrosaurians and Chasmosaurians. This thing, which is a Centrosaurian, it's got a short frill, but notice it has long eye horns and a short nose horn, which is opposite of what I said they should be. So that kind of changed the way we thought a little bit. This guy, which has cauliflower on the back of its head, long nose horn, it's another Centrosaurian. This guy, which is a lot like that animal Styracosaurus I showed you, but his horns point towards the middle. He's got a really long nose horn. This was just described this year as a new animal. In addition, we have another Pachyrhinosaur with spikes in the middle of its head from Canada. That was named in 2008. There's this Pachyrhinosaur, which hasn't been fully described yet, which is new. There's another Pachyrhinosaur from Alaska, which is also new. We're still waiting for them to prepare it. In addition, there's an animal that was first described in 2001, or in 2001, and then fully, its name was changed in 2007 to Aguilaceratops mariscalensis. This thing's from Texas. And then in 2001, Chasmosaurus ervingensis was named from Canada. We just changed the name to Vegaceratops because it doesn't fall with Chasmosaurus. In addition, there's a relative of Triceratops called Eotriceratops from Canada, described in 2007. I described a dinosaur from Mexico just last year called Coelaceratops. It's got huge eye horns, related to Triceratops. Looks something like this. Interestingly, all of these animals live on a tiny island continent of Western North America. So all of the animals that I've showed you are constrained between this point here and this point here. And they're all along the western coast, or I guess it would be the eastern coast, western edge of the seaway that split North America in two. We do not have horned dinosaurs from eastern North America. We do not have horned dinosaurs from northern Canada. Doesn't mean they're not there, we just haven't found them yet. And until last year, we didn't have any horned dinosaurs from Asia. So this actually allows us to look at this tiny crucible of evolution. When you think about the entire world, you don't find horned dinosaurs anywhere except this one little strip of land on the western edge of this seaway that splits North America. We also have formations that produce horned dinosaurs spanning the entire length of the continent. You couldn't walk to South America down here, and you could only periodically walk across the Bering Strait to Asia. So some of the dinosaurs I showed you have come from these different formations. In addition, right here in Utah, we have two formations spanning 80 million years to 74 million years that we've been focusing on to look at some of the dinosaurs that are coming from there. At the same time that these formations are producing dinosaurs in Utah, there's a very well-known fauna in Canada called the Dinosaur Park Formation, which is exactly the same time period as the new dinosaurs we're finding in Utah. So we're able to make comparisons between the northern part of the continent and the southern part of the continent. So these two formations are actually very limited in aerial extent. This is the giant national monument called Grand Staircase, but it's really not that big. Here's Lake Powell. And the dinosaurs that we're finding are in these two green formations, the dark green being the Comparowitz Formation, which is on top of the lighter green, which is the Wall-Wheat Formation. And so in 2000, we started a collaborative project with some of these partners to really figure out what the dinosaurs of the southern part of this island continent that we call Laramidia. This is what the Wall-Wheat Formation looks like. It's steep cliffs of mudstone and sandstone. The Comparowitz also is quite steep with mudstones and siltstones. Both of these represent environments that would have looked like this at the time of deposition. Very flat, low gradient, with meandering streams crossing through them, dinosaurs living throughout. You had cypress trees actually living in the water, lots of low water covering low parts in the floodplain. And this is kind of a mood of what it would have been like if it would have actually gone on the edges of these streams. We have some vegetation along the banks, lush vegetation, vines, lots of angiosperm plants. And some of the animals that live there include a giant alligator called Deinosuchus. This guy's about 40 feet long. We're going to be mounting a skeleton of this in our new museum that we're building, which should open in November. This animal, exact same time period as Canada, does not show up in Canada. Only lived in the south. In addition, we have duck-billed dinosaurs. The duck-billed dinosaurs are different from the duck-billed dinosaurs in the north. We have Gripposaurus monumentensis, which is a non-crested duck-billed dinosaur. And of course, you probably know what this is, right? One of the 5 most popular dinosaurs. Parasaurolophus. So this is a crested duck-billed dinosaur with a big long tube. It's taken the front part of its skull and its nose, taken the premax and nasal, stretched it 6